Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of CJ's Coins and Crafts. This is the next installment of our US Commemorative Series. This one is covering the 1936 Bridgeport Centennial Half Dollar. Settled in 1639, Bridgeport, which is the largest city in Connecticut, was named after a drawbridge and was an important center during the 17th and 18th centuries, but was not incorporated as a city until 1836. A bill for a Bridgeport Centennial Half Dollar was introduced into the Senate by Augustine Lonergan of Connecticut on March 10, 1936. The other Connecticut Senator, Francis T. Maloney, had been asked weeks prior to introduce the bill but had chosen not to do so because of the many commemorative coin bills already before the Senate. The Bridgeport bill was referred to the Committee on Banking and Currency and was one of the several commemorative coin bills to be considered on March 11, 1936, by a subcommittee led by Colorado's Alva B. Adams. On March 26th, Adams reported the bill back to the Senate, though with extensive amendments. The coins could only be struck at one mint. There would be a mintage limit of 10,000, and no fewer than 5,000 coins could be made at one time. They would have to be dated 1936, and the organization responsible for the coin, the Bridgeport Centennial Incorporated, would have 1 year to purchase the coins. The net proceeds they received from selling the coins could only be used for centennial observances. The bill was brought before the Senate floor on March 27th, the second of six coinage bills. It was amended and passed without discussion or debate. The bill reached the House of Representatives on April 1st and was referred back to the Committee on Coinage and Weights and Measures. The committee reported back on the 16th, recommending an amendment to require that not less than 25,000 coins be struck. The amendment removed the language requiring 5,000 to be minted at one time, as well as the 1 year limit for purchase. On April 28th, Schuyler Merritt of Connecticut brought the bill to the House floor, asking that it be passed with their recommendations, and it was. As the houses had not passed identical versions of the bill, this sent the bill back to the Senate. On May 4th, Adams moved that the Senate agree to the House amendment, which it did. The bill became law, authorizing not fewer than 25,000 half dollars by signature of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on May 15, 1936. The lack of an upper mintage limit or time limit for production meant that the Bridgeport Centennial Incorporated could have ordered as many coins as it wanted far into the future, as long as they were dated 1936. This authority was removed by Congress, with legislation passed on August 5, 1939, directing that commemorative coins authorized before March of that year be no longer minted. On June 10, 1936, Bridgeport Mayor Jasper McLevy wrote to the director of the Mint, Nellie Taylor Ross, informing her that Henry Kreis had been hired to sculpt the Bridgeport coin and enclose sketches of the proposed design. McLevy noted that P.T. Barnum was the subject of one side of the coin, and explaining that Barnum had presented Seaside Park to the city and helped develop the East Bridgeport. The following day, Ross wrote to the Secretary of the Treasury, Henry Morgenthau, stating that Bridgeport designs would be sent to the Commission of Fine Arts for its opinion. On June 24th, the Commission Chair, Charles Moore, wrote to Ross with the enclosed comments from Lee Laurie, generally approving of Kreis's design, but proposed that the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" be moved from below Barnum's head on the obverse to the reverse of the coin. This, as Laurie suggested, would allow space for the name Connecticut to be rendered in full. Revised models were approved by the Commission on August 4th, with the completed models being sent to Morgenthau, my Assistant Director of the Mint, Mary O'Reilly. The models were converted to coin-size hubs by the Medallic Art Company of New York in time for coinage to begin in September. In September 1936, a total of 25,015 Bridgeport half dollars were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, with 15 pieces reserved for inspection and testing the following year by the Annual Assay Commission. They were sold at a price of $2, mostly through local banks in Bridgeport, and and with mail order sales processed by the First National Bank of Bridgeport. Even though sales of the coin went well to the public and collectors, there were several thousand pieces remaining after October. These were transferred by the Centennial organizers to the Bridgeport Community Chest, which then wholesale sold them to coin dealers. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch these videos. If you guys like this kind of content, please hit the like button, put your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and hit the bell for notifications when I upload new videos. I upload new videos of the US Commemorative Series until we're done for the early ones every Wednesday. So look forward to the next one. We'll see you then.